When it comes to extinction, rat holes are hidden everywhere, which is why I proudly present Top 10 Unseen Rat Holes on Extinction. Coming at number 10, this can be found at 4.0 latitude and 13.0 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the Arctic kind of region up here in like kind of the higher part of the wasteland. It's pretty easy to find. There's not that many corrupted dinos up here as well, meaning that if you defend your entrance well, really shouldn't even be messed with that like at all. But you do have this tiny little entrance. It is a crouch entrance. Actually, it's lower than a crouch entrance. You have to crawl into it. So that makes that thing already pretty overpowered. Now this one doesn't have a crazy amount of room, which is why it's at number 10. But you have a nice little room back here, but you know, it's not too much that you can really do with this rat hole. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code Outcasts and you will get 25% off your entire order. If you're looking for a great alternative to coffee or just a way to get you going in the morning, Mitra is definitely the way to go. Now, back to the video. Coming at number 9, this can be found at 2.4 latitude and 45.9 longitude, and then there it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the wasteland again, and this one is only at number 9 because you really can't build on the entrance, making this pretty difficult to defend. So yeah, look for these weird looking spike things and you'll instantly find the entrance. It's pretty simple to find. But yeah, here's your entrance. It is insanely small. You can barely fit a player in here, but it is possible. This is your first room and you can't even really build in here, which is a little bit of a downside, but people can't really raid in here too. Like the only way to raid is with a player and a shield. Then in here is your second room. Now this room is pretty decent, but if you keep going back, it kind of just keeps going back in this long little hallway. And then right here is very difficult to get into, but it is possible. And then here's your main room. Overall, pretty overpowered rat hole, but a very difficult one to build in. Coming at number 8, this can be found at 63.1 latitude and 69.7 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over right next to the desert bubble. Now there are a good amount of these on Extinction. I was shocked though because there's one here and this one is actually the best one out of every single one of these little porthole things, whatever you want to call them, mainly because it keeps going back. It's supposed to end right here, but for some reason it just never got patched up, meaning you are able to build all the way back in here, making for a pretty overpowered rat hole. If you can figure out how to defend that entrance very well, I'm telling you, it's going to be an amazing base spot, especially because you can build super high up in the back. Coming at number 7, this can be found at 101.6 latitude and 88.6 longitude. I've never had to say a 101 before, that's definitely interesting. But yeah, so this one is a little bit of a tricky one. It's considered a rat hole because you really only have one main way in. Now, because of this being the barrier, if you go past those little Skynet things, you'll instantly be killed out here, or you'll be killed very quickly, meaning people really can't raid you except for that top entrance. So yes, this is all completely open, but I'm telling you, people cannot raid you here, making for a pretty overpowered spot and a super hidden one. So a lot of people are really not going to know about this, well, until now. Coming at number 6, this can be found at negative 0.5 latitude and 21.0 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over in the sunken forest. Go onto this very back wall, look for that little lighting area over there, and then the roots that are kind of like hanging down in a little C pattern. You'll see a nice little opening right here. Now this one isn't really too crazy, it's meant for more of like a compact tribe to really build in, but the entrance does make this thing pretty overpowered. As you can see, this is a crouch entrance. You can only fit a player in here, really nothing else, and you can't really throw any dinos out with a cryopod, making for a pretty overpowered spot. Then it instantly kind of curves up right into here, making for an overall just a decent spot. It does go back up here into the top, but there's nothing to really do with this little tiny area. Coming at number 5, this can be found at negative 13.3 latitude and 57.7 longitude. Then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the wasteland again, over in the purple blue zone kind of area. Now this one is going to be a tricky one to build in just because of the corrupted dinos. So there's going to be a lot of corrupted PTs, wyverns, all that are most likely going to be messing with your base. So you're going to need some kind of exterior cliff platform chandelier maybe. But yeah, here's your entrance. Again, it's another crouch entrance, and it still is going to be hard to throw out some dinos in here just because of how the walls are built. Now this does look kind of small on camera. It is actually a pretty decent size, and you can fit a replicator, indie forge, all that good stuff in here. Coming at number 4, this can be found at 23.5 latitude and 11.6 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the sunken forest again. The easiest way to look for this is look for the giant orb right next to me, and then this little crystal thing kind of on the cliff side. Should be pretty easy to find. But yeah, here's your entrance, which I'm very shocked that I haven't found in this thing. I mean, it is insanely small, but yeah, so it's a nice little crouch entrance that opens up into a pretty decently sized rat hole. Now, you can't really fit anything like a replicator or all that in here, or if you can, it's gonna have to clip through walls, so you're gonna need a certain thing on. Except the back room, you are able to fit it in. Just that first room, you can't really work with it too much. But what makes this one pretty good is that it goes all the way down. So yeah, it's kind of an awkward one to work with, so you're gonna have to build tons of just different layers to fit everything in here. But overall, it does make for a honestly pretty good rat hole. It does actually keep going too. Here's your second room, and you do have water in here, so you can do a little bit of water breeding. But yeah, it's totally up to you. Let's get on to the next one. Coming at number 3, this can be found at 55.6 latitude and 41.9 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the middle of the city. Now simply look underneath this giant little platform thing, and fun fact, there's a rat hole right next to you as well. This one is just very hidden. I didn't even know that this thing was here. So yeah, come down here into this little entrance, and as you can see, as long as you go straight up, it opens up into a pretty decently sized room. It's nothing too wild, like it's not a massive room, but if you can figure out how to build this thing properly, I mean, it will make for a pretty overpowered spot. Now you do have a full water breeding area, and that is a lot of water to work with as well. But yeah, up here it does kind of keep going. Again, the rooms aren't like crazy big, unless there's like a tiny little one that I might have missed. But yeah, it's a very awkward kind of styled rat hole. So if you can figure out how to build in here, it will make for a pretty good base, and a very, very hidden one as well. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 22.5 latitude and 8.7 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the sunken forest again, and this one is actually a pretty decent one. So as you can see, look for this little waterfall right there. It is pretty close to the obelisk as well, but yeah, just mainly look for that waterfall. Now this entrance is very tiny, you can't fit any dinos in here, other than maybe a PT, but it still is going to be a little bit tight. So yeah, there's your main entrance. You do have it's a nice little kind of walkway in, so you can put a little bit of defense in here and make this thing pretty overpowered, make that entrance super strong. Now upon coming in here, you do have a stretched wall. You guys know what that means. When there's usually a stretched wall, that means that these are probably going to get patched. But seeing how they haven't patched anything on Aberration yet, you honestly should be fine to live in the majority of the rat holes on this map. So yeah, down here you have a little bit of a water glitch area. It's not true water, but there is a true water area in here. I kind of forget where it is. But yeah, as you can see, it does open up quite a bit, and you have a lot of room to work with. You can easily fit indie forges, you know, fabricators, not fabricators, you guys know what I mean, replicators. And finally, coming at number 1, this can be found at 4.2 latitude and 31.1 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this can be found over in the wasteland. Simply look for this little, I don't know, spike kind of pointing out, as well as the giant red terminal thingy. I still don't know what those things are called. I always forget their names. So yeah, right up here in the ceiling, you have a nice little slit that kind of opens up where you can easily fit in there, but you can't fit any dinos. You can maybe fit a PT in there, but even then it's going to be a little complicated. So you're most likely going to need some grapples. Now it opens up into this first room, which, you know, isn't too crazy until you kind of go back in here. So this thing is probably insane. I don't think ARK is going to patch it. They haven't really patched anything else yet, but yeah, this is just absolutely insane. You have pretty much infinite room to work with in here. You can fit indie forges, you know, replicators, literally anything that you want in here. Yeah, so, but anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to go check out Mitra9. Thanks for watching.